to learn about the third session of problem solving methodology. So I have told you in previous two classes we have explained what is problem solving and different stages of problem solving and what is algorithm and the characteristics of an algorithm, what is flowchart and different symbols used in flowchart, and I gave you an example also about algorithm and a flowchart. So today in our class we are going to see a recap of our different stages of problem solving. So I have explained you many times what is problem solving, how we are going to uh, get the solution for the problem using different stages. So here again just a quick recap of how to solve a problem, that is different stages in problem solving. The first stage is problem definition, the second is problem analysis, third algorithm development, fourth is coding, fifth is testing and debugging, and the last stage is documentation and maintenance. So these are different stages in problem solving. So let us see an algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure in order to solve a problem. In order to solve any kind of problem, you have to write the algorithm. So algorithm is a step-by-step procedure. Step-by-step procedure, that is step 1, step 2. So we are writing in stepwise. So it is in this algorithm you are going to find out the area and circumference of the circle. So you should know the formula for finding out the area of a circle and circumference of the circle. The area of the circle is 3.14 into, that is pi value, pi r square is the formula for the circle, that is area of the circle, and the area of the circle is found out with input r is the radius. And the second thing what we have to find out is circumference. Circumference is 2 pi r. 2 pi is 3.14 into r is the radius. So this is the formula in order to find out the area and circumference. First you should know the formula, and then you should start writing the algorithm. Now step 1 is start. In almost all the algorithm we have to start. We have to begin the algorithm with the start. Then the second step is input r. R is the radius. So in a circle you have got the radius. So you have to input that radius in order to find out the area. The third step is the formula, that is we are doing the calculation over here, that is pi value is 3.14 into r. So asterisk we are using instead of we having an into sign. Now we have a multiplication. Here we have a asterisk symbol. So 3.14 into r is radius into r. So we are finding out the area here and storing that area, that value, whatever value you get, that will be stored in the area. Now the next thing is 2 pi r. 2 into pi value 3.14 into r is radius. So we calculate that value and store that value in the that is circumference. So once we get the value of area and circumference, the next step is we have to output that area and circumference. So we are displaying the output as area and circumference, and the last step is stop. Now we have seen the algorithm. Now we are going to see the flow chart. The first step is start. Then you have the input. Input is radius. Then you have area. Area is pi r square and circumference is 2 pi r. As we have written in the algorithm, same thing you have to write over here. The formula pi r square, that is r into r, and circum is 2 into pi r. So you can find out the output, and the output will be stored in area and circum. After that we can store the output, that is area and circum. Area is whatever the output you get here, the r value you give as 5, that is 3.14 into 5 into 5, and circum is 2 into 3.14 into 5. So the answer will be stored in circum and area, and we have to display the output, and finally we stop. The next topic what we are going to study is programming constructs. Every language has syntax of its own. Syntax means it is a set of rules by which various elements occurring in that language are defined. In English language, words, sentence, paragraphs are constructed using its character set and punctuation marks, etc. But in computer language, has its own character set, which is a building block of a program. Program statements can be constructed using the characters from the character set of the language. So, in a programming language like C or C++, Java, we are using programming constructs. A programming construct is a statement in a program. So, using these constructs only we are able to write the programs. So, there are three basic programming constructs, that is sequential, iteration and selection. So, sequential constructs, when the program statements are executed one after the another in a sequence, then we call it as sequential construct. So we have input, then we have assignment, then output. It is in a sequential way. The statement used to input values into the variables from the input device, that will be the first step. Then assignment, we are assigning some values, then we do the manipulations, then finally we get the output, display the values of the variables on the standard output device. So stage wise, that is 1, 2, 3. So we are doing in a order, in a sequential way, then it is called a sequential constructor. The next type of construct is selection construct. It is also known as conditional construct. This structure helps the programmer to take appropriate decision. There are 5 kinds of selection constructs. They are simple if else, if else if, nested if, multiple selection. So all these different selection constructs will be studying in the next chapter. In control statements, we'll be studying about these constructs. The next type of construct is iteration constructs. The process The next type of construct is iteration constructor. The process of repeated execution of the sequence of statements until some condition is satisfied, it is called as iteration or repetition or loop. So there are 3 kinds of constructs, that is while loop, do while loop and for loop. While, do while and for. These are the different types of constructs. And these iteration constructs will be studying in the chapter control statements. Computer science is a study of problems, problem solving and the solution that come out of the problem solving process. Given a problem, a computer scientist goal is to develop an algorithm, a step-by-step procedure or instructions for solving any problem. So there are different approaches for solving a problem. So different approaches are top-down design, stepwise refinement and bottom-up design. Let us see the first approach, that is top-down design. Top-down design is a process of dividing a problem into sub-problems and further dividing the sub-problems into smaller sub-problems until it can be implemented as a program statement. This approach is also called as divide and conquer. The advantages of a top-down approach is that problem can be logically organized or divided into small parts called as modules. And the second advantage is modification or changes can be done easily. And testing the modules can also be done easily. These are the advantages of top-down approach. You can see here a diagram, that is a top-down approach, where a module is given, that is a main program, that is divided into sub-problem. Again the sub-problem is further divided into sub-problems, that is module 1 is divided into module 2 and module 3. Module 2 is divided into module 4 and module 5, and there module 3 is divided into module 6. So a main problem will be divided into sub-problems. Again the sub-problems are further divided into sub-problems. This kind of approach is called as top-down approach. That is where the flow of information goes from top level to the bottom, that is down. Here you can see an example over here. The flow of information goes from the top level to the bottom level. That is, the information is moved from CEO to executives, then to middle manager, then supervisor, then employees, and then to the customers. The flow of information is from top to down. So this type of approach is called as top-down approach. The next approach is stepwise refinement. In stepwise refinement, the process of breaking down the problem at each stage to obtain a computer solution is called stepwise refinement. You can see here a complete task is given. That task will be broken into small tasks, that is subtask 1, subtask 2, subtask 3. Again task 2 is broken into two tasks, that is subtask 2A, subtask 2B. So this is how a stepwise refinement works. That is the most effective way to solve a complex problem is to break it into small problems. So here we are breaking a complete task into sub problems, and you can start by breaking the old task into a simple problems. So subtask 1, subtask 2, subtask 3. Again the subtask 2 is we are breaking this problem into subtask 2A, subtask 2B. So this process is called stepwise refinement or decomposition. The next type of approach is bottom-up design. This approach is the reverse of top-down design. The process starts with identification of the set of modules which are either available or to be constructed. In this approach, the final program obtained by combining the lower level modules to form the module of the higher level, or to combine together to give a solution to the problem. Example include object-oriented programming using C++. Here we have three subprograms. These three subprograms will be combined together to form a main program. So we are going from bottom to top. Then it is called as bottom-up approach. So these are the different types of approaches that are used in order to solve the problem. That is top-down design or approach, stepwise refinement, and the third approach is bottom-up approach. Let us see the recap of the entire chapter. So problem solving methodology or problem solving techniques. What is problem solving? It is a process of solving complex problems in terms of simple operations understood by the computer. So this is the meaning for problem solving. And different stages of problem solving. We have 7 stages of problem solving. We have already studied about the different stages of problem solving. Let us revise. That is, we are having different stages. That is, the first stage is problem definition. The second one is problem analysis. And then algorithm development, coding. Then you have testing and debugging. Then documentation and maintenance. So these are the different stages of problem solving process. Then we studied about the different stages in detail. That is, what is problem definition we studied. How do you define a problem in the first stage, and the second stage we studied that is problem analysis. We studied about the what is specified, that is the input, output, and the other requirements, additional requirements should be specified in the problem analysis. And then design of the solution using algorithm and flowchart. In that we have studied about the algorithm development and the flowchart. We are drawing the flowchart based on the algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure in order to solve the problem. And flowchart is a diagrammatic representation of the algorithm we studied. And coding. Coding means we are translating the algorithm or the flowchart into a programming language. Then we call it as coding. So coding can be done in different programming languages like C, C++. And testing comes only after writing the coding. We are running the program and testing whether there is any errors or whether the program is written correctly. So in testing, and debugging is correcting the errors, is called as debugging. Then comes documentation. That documentation is a reference material, and there are two types of documentation, internal and external documentation. And maintenance, the review of the entire process. That is, in case if you want to do any changes or update the program, you can do that in the maintenance. Here we studied about the algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a given problem. The word algorithm is derived from an Arabic word and it was developed by an Arab mathematician, Muhammad al-Khwarizmi. So there are different characteristics of an algorithm. So that is input, definite, effective, output. These are the different characteristics of the algorithm. And also I gave you an example to find a simple interest. So we are writing step by step 1, that is input, step 2 PTR, that is the input, and then we are calculating in the next step, that is step 3, we are calculating PTR, that is P into T into R divided by 100, and step 4 output, what is the output, that is simple interest, SI, and finally we are stopping, that is we are coming to an end of an algorithm, then we have to stop. So this is how we have to write an algorithm. I have explained that. Then what is flowchart? Flowchart is a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. So we are using some symbols here in order to write draw the flowchart. And different types of flowchart is there, that is program flowchart and system flowchart. The different advantages of an algorithm is it is a step-by-step presentation, so it is easy to understand. It is independent of programming language. So you can write the algorithm for any language, whether it is a C or C++, Java. For any language, the algorithm can be written. It is independent of programming language. It is having a definite procedure. That is, it is clearly specified. The statements in an algorithm should be clearly specified. And it is easy to debug. Debug means to correct the errors. It is very easy to correct the errors. Whatever mistakes we do, we can correct in the algorithm itself. It is easy to develop an algorithm, then convert it into a program. Since we know how the flow of the program is, since there is stepwise presentation, it is easy to convert it into a program. Then what are the disadvantages of an algorithm? It is time consuming and it is fast. It takes lot of time to make an algorithm, and first if we develop an algorithm and then if we convert it into a program, then it is also time consuming. So these are the disadvantages of algorithm. And then we studied about coding and programming, testing, debugging, errors, different types of errors we studied, that is syntax error, semantic error, and runtime error. So what is syntax error? Syntax error is a error that occurs due to the wrong use of syntax, and runtime error, these errors are detected during the execution of the program, and semantic error is error that occurs due to the wrong use of logic. These are the different types of error that we have studied. And documentation also we have studied. There are two types of documentation, internal and external documentation. And finally we have studied about the maintenance. Maintenance is a process of updating or providing a new version of a program. So these were the topics which we are studied in this chapter. Now coming to today's recap, that is programming constructs. Programming constructs are nothing, the statements which we write in the program are called as programming constructs. So there are different types of constructs, that is sequential, iteration, selection. So coming to the first one, that is sequential. Sequential means the statements are executed one after the other, then we call it as sequential. And the second type of constructs are iteration. Iteration means the same set of statements will be executed again and again until the condition is satisfied, then we call it as iteration. So there are different types of iteration statements like do, while, for. Okay, these are the different, we'll be studying in the next chapters. And selection statements are also a statement where we take a decision whether to execute. We are selecting a statement based on the condition whether to execute that statement or not. So there are different types of selection statements like simple if else, if, switch statement. So these are the different selection statements. Then we studied about the approaches to problem solving. That is, different types of approaches are there, that is top-down design and stepwise refinement and bottom-up approach. In top-down design, there is a process of dividing a problem into sub-problems and further dividing the sub-problem into smaller sub-problems until it can be implemented as a program. Then it is called as top-down design. Stepwise refinement is a process of breaking down the problem at each stage to obtain a computer solution is called as stepwise refinement. And bottom-up approach. Bottom-up approach, it is a reverse of top-down approach, and here the process starts with the identification of the module which are either available or it can be constructed. In this approach, the final program is obtained by combining the lower level modules. That is, two lower level modules are there, module 1 and module 2. So these modules will be combined to get a upper level, and it goes from bottom to up. So in this type of approach is used in C++ programming, that is object programming. We are using a bottom up approach. So these are the different approaches of problem solving, that is top down design, stepwise refinement, or bottom up design. 1 mark questions. The different 1 mark questions in this chapter are: the first question is, what is problem solving? Problem solving is a process of solving the complex problem in terms of simple operations which is understood by the computer. There are different stages, mentioned the different stages of problem solving. So different stages, 7 stages in problem solving, that is problem definition, problem analysis, design of the solution using algorithm and flowchart, programming and coding, program testing and debugging, then documentation, and finally maintenance. All these steps, only you mention the steps. Then what is coding? Coding is translating the algorithm or flowchart into a programming language is called as coding. Then what is testing? Is a process of checking whether the program works correctly according to the requirements of the user. So during runtime, that is after the coding, we are doing testing, that is whether the program is running correctly according to the requirements of the user, then we call it as testing. So what is documentation? Documentation, that is a program has to be documented. It's a reference material which will explain the use of the program. So there are 2 types of documentation I have told: internal documentation and external documentation. So mention only the meaning of documentation here. Since it is 1 mark question, you have to write only what is documentation. The next question is, what is algorithm? An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure in order to solve a problem. Then what is flowchart? Flowchart is a diagrammatic representation of the algorithm. So we are diagrammatically representing. So it is a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. Mention different programming constructs. There are 3 types of constructs, that is sequential construct, then you have got a selection construct, then iteration construct. These are the programming construct. You have to mention their names. What is top-down design? Top-down design means it is a process of dividing a problem into sub-problem. Again, the sub-problem will be further divided into smaller sub-problem until it can be implemented as a program. So you have to give the meaning of top-down design. What is stepwise refinement? In stepwise refinement, we are breaking down the problem at each stage to obtain a computer solution. To obtain a solution, we are breaking down the problem into, each time one problem is there, that we have to break the problem into sub-problem. So this is called as stepwise refinement. So what is syntax error? Syntax error is an error that occurs due to the wrong use of syntax. So we are doing any grammatical error, then syntax error will occur. What is semantic error? Semantic error occurs due to the wrong use of logic. Then what is runtime error? Runtime error is an error which occurs during the execution of the program or during runtime. That is called as runtime error. The next question is, what is debugging? Debugging means correcting the errors. So the errors which are occurred during the testing process has to be corrected. This is done during the debugging stage. We are correcting the errors. That is, it is a process of finding and correcting the errors in the program is called as debugging. So we are finding and correcting the errors in the program. That is called as debugging. What is bottom-up approach? Bottom-up approach is the reverse of top-down approach. In this case, we are starting from the lower level modules and then going to upper level modules. Then we call as bottom-up approach. Then write any one advantage and disadvantage of an algorithm. So one advantage and disadvantage of an algorithm we have to mention, that is it is a step by step presentation so that it can easy to understand and it is easy to debug. It is easy to first develop an algorithm and then convert it into a program. There are many advantages. Any one advantage you can mention. And disadvantages, it is time consuming and it is vast. So first you have to write the algorithm and then you have to convert it into a program. It takes lot of time. So that is the disadvantage of an algorithm. What is a sequential statement? A statements which are executed one after the another is called a sequential statement. Then next question is, what is selection statement? Selection statements are those statements which are executed based on condition. If the condition is true, the statement will be executed. Otherwise, the statement will not be executed. Then last question, what is iteration statement? Iteration statement means a statement which is executed again and again until the condition is satisfied. Then it is called as iteration statement. So these are the different programming constructs, that is sequential, selection and iteration. I have mentioned it in the previous question. Students, you have to complete these 19 questions in your 100 pages book. You have to write the question and answer, and anytime I will ask you to submit in the classroom. So complete the question answers and keep it ready.